Look who we have with us tonight. What is good?
And
We
Danger
get
Dean.
Yeah.
and Danger D, El Presidente.
Man. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. It's good to see all of you again. It's very nice to see you.
Welcome
You too,
back.
brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to another, or I should say, special episode of the Dudes and Belts Rewind this evening. I am your host, Johnny Deathdrop. And holy smokes, do we have a show jam-packed for you guys this evening? We'll let you guys all know what's going on tonight. But before we get into everything, let's introduce our panel for this evening. On the top left, we have the one that lives way up there on the east coast of Maine, the inventor of the beacon of the week, the one and only Coast Crusader.
What's going on, everybody? Can't wait. It's a big week. Big week. Big things coming. We got Shocktober Thursday. We got a whole bunch of stuff. But tonight, we got some Rewind. And we got Danger Dean. And I wore my very best turtle apparel for the evening.
Love the shirt. Outstanding.
On the top right, we have our resident masshole himself, as always, the one and only Marky Pins.
What is good, everybody? Tonight it is like double mint gum. It's two shows in one, man. We do the rewind, and then we're gonna have a nice little sit down. We're gonna talk with El Presidente. I don't have any Turtles gear, but I'm supporting President in my own way right here. I hate Curtis Cole. We hate Curtis Cole. Danger Dean, go get Curtis Cole for us, please, sir. Please.
I love that shirt equally as much. Great shirt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Marky.
On the bottom left, we have the voice of Ignition. He is the encyclopedia of Rocky Mountain Pro, the one and only Lucas Bradwell.
And I've also been filling in for Danger Dean on Charged because so he can train hard and get ready for this match. And I'm not wearing a Turtle shirt or a I Hate Curtis Cole shirt, but I am wearing a shirt of our team that won today. And so I think this is a good omen because Danger Dean's going to have a win on Thursday at Shocktober as well. So wins all the way around.
Lucas, great day today. Your guys' team won. Marky doesn't do football, so he doesn't have a team.
No.
My team won. Johnny, how was your day? How'd the Patriots do?
I'm not going to say what I said like 10 minutes ago because
Okay.
you get kicked off of YouTube for that, but
Yes, we would.
I hate you.
Yes, we would.
So there you go. And of course, making his return to Dudes and Belts programming, he is the president of Rocky Mountain Pro. He is right now the #1 contender for the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship and will be going against Curtis Cole at Shocktober on Thursday. The one and only Danger freaking Dean.
I love it. I love it. Thank you guys. I mean, it's always a pleasure to be sitting here with the boys from the East Coast, and always a pleasure to be sitting here with my good friend Lucas Bradwell. The history is long, and it's weird to hear my name and #1 contender in the year 2023. I still really haven't gotten over it. When I won the Colorado Cup, it seemed like it was going to be, a long road. And now, guys, we're talking in just a matter of days away. So I'm excited. I'm hyped up. And the intro got me hyped up, guys. I'm ready for a fun night. I know we've got a jam-packed show. So let's rock and roll, boys.
And what we're going to do is the first hour of tonight's programming will be the rewind. We always do the rewind no matter what. However, this is going to be a special rewind because now we are starting episode 1, the very first episode of Charge. So the programming that you see every Tuesday night on the YouTube channel, we're going way back to the very first episode. We're at 262 coming up on Thursday. So we're going 361 episodes back to 2014 to episode 1. And actually, it's perfect because this episode featured El Presidente quite a bit. So you'll be seeing a lot of Danger Dean tonight.
It's almost like it was fate.
You know,
Stars aligned on this 1 week.
We're almost up to where you could watch a Charge today for a whole year, and you'd have your whole year filled.
You should do that. You should do that. If you haven't seen the history, and again, if you're just like tuning in and checking out the Rewind show just week by week, you've got to see the history. You've got to see like where we've come from, because I mean, we have the crew that just works their ass off. And I mean, you see that like where it started and where it is to now, and we've put a lot of work in. So kicking off Charged as an episodic TV show is like super exciting, and the fact that I was the champion at the time, there was quite a bit of pressure, on me because I had to kind of represent all of that, but I think we did a pretty good job.
All right, so
yes.
let's not waste any more time here. Let's get right down into the rewind, folks. We're going to watch episode 1, and then what's going to happen is we're going to switch the chats over to membership only because, again, with your tier 1 or tier 2 memberships over on YouTube, you have the opportunity to interact and talk to Danger Dean via the chat and ask all the important questions. I'm sure we're going to be talking about his number 1 contendership and how his training has been for this Thursday coming up, as well as we might have a little bit of an RMP State of the Union, maybe. So we'll see what happens.
Fellow Rocky Mountain Proians.
So,
fellow.
Yes.
So
I'm excited, guys. This is one of my favorite weeks. I've had a lot of memorable moments at Shocktober. We haven't gotten there yet. I'm not going to spoil too many things as far as the rewind goes, but I've had some memorable moments at Shocktober, and the fact that man, it's crazy that we're sitting here talking about it. I mean, even talking to Johnny about hopping on this week, I was like, cool, we got a few weeks till we get there, and now we're here, and yeah, let's jump into it. Let's go to see when I was less president-y and more. I think I aligned myself a little more with Curtis Cole back then.
Much more dangerous. Much more dangerous back in the day.
All right. So this is the part of the show where you're going to see a lot of screw ups here because I have to get Discord squared away with you guys. So let's see if we can squeeze all 4 of you guys. This is the most we've had for a rewind. So
what I love to see is because when we're watching in Discord to him, we can't see any of our faces. So it just looks like he's moving his mouse around randomly.
It does, right?
All right. And now we're going to switch over here to this scene. This is the best part of the entire night right here. Let me tell you.
You sound like Bob Ross. We're going to switch over here to this happy little scene.
Just have a happy little scene.
Happy little people over here.
Yeah.
All right. Dean, can you see the episode?
I just clicked watch stream, correct?
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Let's go, baby.
All right.
If you don't, you're going to be on a delay.
Go.
All right. Episode 1, ladies and gentlemen, back in 2014.
Seems like just yesterday. It's crazy that it's been almost 10 years.
Oh, Dean, look, there's your friends not at the time, the Duff Militia.
Here we are at the official training center of NRW New Revolution Wrestling. This is the debut edition of NRW
there's
Charged. What a historic
face only a mother could love.
Roberto Padilla. What a great night.
Stop.
Roberto's right there, man.
You shouldn't say that about Roberto. Like,
And
right?
the greatest man
He
in
says some
NRW
weird
history,
things, but
the undisputed champion,
The
Danger
greatest man
Dean.
in NRW history. I
What an
loved
unbelievable
Roberto.
night that we had last month and never broken. Off the heels of that great event, we have to get an update of Hoodlum and his condition from that vicious assault by Trajan Ender. We got a big night. Here we go. Let's get started. And if there's ever been a guy who's had an impact in his first year of wrestling, it has to be.
Normally,
this
I would
guy
make a
right
comment
here,
about
108.
somebody's
Have you
hair
ever
like that,
seen-
but not that man.
Have you ever seen a guy
Nope,
who's
nope,
had
let it
such
slide.
an impact in
Yep.
his first year? Oh man, it's unbelievable impact. And you see the reason why he's making such an impact. Walking behind him, the NRW champion, Danger Dean, learning from the best, learning from a champion. Not many people get that opportunity.
Not
He's
only
making
was
the
this our
most of it.
first episode of Charge, this was
Undefeated.
also our first show
Thus
at
far,
Extreme
Henry
Gym,
undefeated
which
in his
we had a little bit of a rocky
the
history with,
NRW
but
champion. Very interesting. that
for a year, we
Danger
had a
Dean
good
has
little
comes out
run.
here for a
there's a
match.
room.
He's going over there, and he's just simply here to get a closer look to see how much Hunter Graves learned thus far. And this will be very interesting to see what kind of condition champion after that last month's vicious assault by Trajan Ender.
This is gonna be good.
Can't be 100%.
Yes.
He definitely can't be 100%, and that's his body and his pride because Hoodlum he's never accomplished one thing, and that is pin Trajan Ender in the middle of that ring. That's right. Last month at Never Broken, he did get the victory, but it was actually Jesse Sorensen, his tag team partner, who got the pinfall.
So I've been sitting
Oh,
in the
Booty's got a
back,
mic.
waiting for that sucker punching, receding hairline, sissy Trajan Ender to show his face in this building.
Hey, bring up Hunter than Trajan, Hoodlum. Shut
And
up.
then Big Mike came up to me and he said, Hoodie, you gotta go out there and wrestle Hunter Gray. And I said, Big Mike, what in the blue hell is a Hunter Gray? Big Mike looked at me and he said, if you mixed Lenny from Of Mice and Men, a Baboon, and Ellen DeGeneres, that's basically the love child.
I don't think Hunter liked that comparison too much.
You come out here and you walk around with your blank stare like you just realized you left the oven on, looking like one of the goons from The Mummy. Imhotep, Imhotep, Imhotep. And you think you're supposed to intimidate me or any of these people? Let me reintroduce myself. My name is Hoodlum. I'm from the superior city of Long Beach, California. And you listen to me, Vidal Sassoon. If you ever decide to hit puberty and let somebody take a shot at that belt who you know has your number,
Whoa,
I'll be
he's talking to
ready
me?
for it.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Yes,
it's
he
like
was.
the old Hoodlum
I do
is
have nice
back.
hair.
I
He
don't
called
think
you
the old
Vidal
Hoodlum
I mean, the
ever
flow
left.
was
Yeah, he
solid.
called you Vidal Sassoon.
Have said over
The
last
lettuce
month
is on
that
point.
a more
I take
softer
it as a
side
compliment.
I mean,
I
that
see the old
in some
Hoodlum.
circles is
Yeah, it's a
very
new
much.
Hoodlum. I mean, Hoodlum that's
I
I
don't
mean, he
think
did drop a
Hoodlum's
mummy
so-
reference, which that's awesome. Big fan of him.
I could listen to Hoodie promos all
It's a new
day.
Hoodlum.
I really
The
could.
new
Hoodie,
Hoodlum is
Hoodie and I
the
have like, you know, we talked a lot about like this era and just kind of leading up to this, and him and I talked, you know, like him and I on the mic really pushed each other because
he's got that
you know, we both liked cutting promos, and so he would watch my promos and say, all right, I'm gonna outdo this guy, and then I would watch his promos and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna outdo this guy. So
That's Pissa. You guys elevate each other.
yeah, him and I always set the bar with each other, and he was one of my favorite dudes in the locker room for sure.
Hoodlum thinks he's a tough guy. He's
At this time, there was quite a few guys who could talk on the mic. You two, and Trajan was awesome on the mic as well.
Yeah, Trajan's great.
There's a pinfall attempt, just one count there. Welcome to the Hoodlum we used to know. How about the toast of the West Coast, the baddest man in NRW, no holds barred.
Oh, he had him stacked right there.
Sarah Edgel over on YouTube. Dean has fabulous hair, just saying.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that.
I'm gonna start the Vidal Sassoon chant. One of these days out there. Vidal Sassoon.
But funny enough, it's not as thick and luxurious as it used to be, and a lot of that is due to Hoodlum, because that man, if you had hair, he was going to have handfuls of it throughout the entire match. So I contribute a lot of my hair loss to one Hoodlum.
Well, it's a big test for Hunter Gray. And Danger Dean is simply out here to see how much Hunter Gray has learned from the champion himself.
Wow.
And he never knows.
Nothing fancy there.
Hoodlum already tried to put his name in the hat for Danger Dean's
Men
title.
Hunter's size aren't supposed to move that quick.
He's trying to wear too many hats here. He's got issues with Trajan Ender. He's jumped
He
in
was
the
a
matchup
freak
with
out.
Hunter Gray, and he's already putting himself out there to become the #1 contender for the NRW champion. Well, of course, that's
Beards and Locks 2024 Tour Dean.
is to become the
Let's go.
Yes.
Hoodlum has never even beaten Trajan Ender in the middle of the ring. He's never pinned Trajan Ender. And he's already jumped ahead, and he's looking towards the title
That
shot.
championship, I never got to hold any of the like custom NRW / RMP titles. That was the title that I held through my entire life.
Nobody has taken the fight
Ooh,
to Hunter like
still
this.
a beautiful belt in its own
Nobody
right.
has, and
I
Hoodlum
loved
is
it.
a great
It
fighter.
literally sat on my mantle for 463 days.
Technician, that's not going to be Hoodlum.
Now, maybe this-
Say it again. Say it again. How many days?
463
He has no business
days.
being out here.
Yes,
Why wasn't he
sir.
out at the other match?
You guys are using the short boy here again, right? It's not a weird camera angle.
Yep, short boy.
Okay.
That's a short boy. Yeah,
Just a 1 count.
I'm 6'2".
I just thought it was a weird angle. You know, the camera was up high and like a bleacher or something.
On the ball. He's already got enough of the problem. Facing
you're 6'2", I'm 7 foot.
Extreme Gym. It was a great place, but it was a very tiny one.
In the very first
Wasn't a lot of
edition
room.
of
So,
NRW
yeah, we had
Listen, Dean's going with what I like to call from my football days program height and weight.
That's right.
The fight taking to him early in the matchup. Hurlem gained the first 5-7 minutes on his
And not
side,
only was
and now
this
right now
the
momentum is
the
all
first
under Greg.
arena that we had charge on, but it's also the first official training center of the Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy. This is where the Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy started up.
Was definitely the aggressor. He was definitely.
I will say though, no matter wherever you guys are, it always looks like a good setup. There's nothing about it that is not. It looks like cheap or just shoddily put together. It all looks like a good presentation.
Well, they were still doing camera cuts and things like that. You know,
A little bit faster there.
it was just figuring, little things, lighting and all that stuff.
A little bit more of the ins and outs.
But that's stuff like I know from theater. You're always tinkering with all the way up until day of stuff. You never have your lighting perfect.
Yeah, and really, does it ever stop evolving? You know what I mean? It's.
Are you insinuating?
I never could have imagined we would have a full-on guerrilla / production area that's got switches and all of that stuff in the back. It's this was done in post editing and all of that stuff, which again is impressive in its own right. But to have that ability to do that in house was awesome. What a drop kick!
I love that.
I love that. That hip toss leg drop combo is gorgeous.
Freakishly athletic.
I actually went through 2K the other day to see if I could find that for creative.
Is this his elbow?
Oh, did you see him check the ceiling?
Trajan, you suck. There we go.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Right.
Referee call for the bell. Turn around is that's fair play right there because fair play. What have we seen the last couple of events? The last couple of times we've been on the air, we've seen Hoodlum running in on Trajan and jumping him from behind. That's different. That's called karma. Are you serious? That's called karma. The last time we've seen Trajan and Hoodlum.
Look, Trajan looks like he just won the world championship from Dean.
There's so many times you could jump out of line. There's so many times that Trajan Ender can make jump before he finally stood up for himself.
Rest in peace, man. He was a good dude.
Well, Hoodlum gets the win via disqualification.
Trajan, yeah.
I believe. Sanchez making it official, but Hoodlum shaking in acknowledgement. He knows he had it coming to him. He knows that was karma. And I can't wait for this battle, this rivalry, this feud to continue.
He Boucher's just looking around like, is it over? Am I safe?
Eventually, it's going to come to a head. We're going to see Trajan and Hoodlum back in that ring.
I don't even know if any of this information is valid.
Oh, hold on.
No, they are
website
no
links and
longer
number no longer applicable.
Business.
Hey, you know that guy. Oh, I spotted a Wayne to Wayne.
For all of your training needs now, please contact the All Star Wrestling Academy, Rocky Mountain.
Pat!
Oh, different ref.
I love Pat.
Pat
He's
Caesar.
great. Pat Caesar.
We haven't seen McLovin in a while.
I've got some insight.
I think McLovin may have been out of the game by this point.
We're going to see the return
At least full-time.
I have tried at training to count like McLovin counts, and all I end up doing is like just overstretching my pectoral muscle. I don't know how he did it. Night in and night out, I leave with a sore chest from wrestling matches. Counting how I don't know how he did it.
That's crazy to see Tony Ortega.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite guys. The Lost Soul.
So a fun like story. So when I did the WWE extra work thing where Jason Jackson and I got to wrestle the Ascension on TV. And I use the word wrestle very loosely. The two that were originally scheduled in that match were Jason Jackson and Tony Ortega. But during our tryout matches, something happened with Tony. I think he got injured or something. And so they pulled Tony, and then I was the next in line. So I was like the understudy for who was supposed to have.
And based upon the that match and its actions, who was luckier, you or Tony?
I think Tony. Yeah, lucky him.
I've seen that, and I'm just glad you were on TV, Dean.
It was the most intense match I think I've ever been in. Ever.
To come in and hang with anybody. I can tangle with anybody. I've got the knowledge and the experience to take down the giants. I just want you to know.
He used to build our sets. He built our sets. And
like I said,
he was a good carpenter.
Yeah.
That dude's an athletic machine too. He just did a backflip off the rope.
I'm going to be a little curious.
These are two of
Who is the crowd going to be behind? Chris
athletic,
Rath or
in
Tony
ring,
Ortega?
probably like high-flying wrestlers that we had. These guys were technically sound.
It's close to Luchador at the time, you would say.
Probably. Yeah. Of course, we had
Delta
and Red Viper at this point.
This crowd is unbelievable.
And we had Viper.
This crowd doesn't know what they're chanting because they're not chanting either person's name, chanting yes and no to what? What is the question? I don't get it. Maybe you don't need to know.
Maybe not Lucha Cruiserweight.
And here we go. We got a rock up here. Rath. We got two different styles in the matchup. We've got the Luchador, the Lucha style wrestling, and you've got kind of like the martial.
Oh, Roberto went with Luchador, so we're going with Luchador.
Okay.
Hardcore style. Like
We know Roberto's never wrong.
Use anything that he can in the ring.
No, never.
I have to use a Q-tip after I listen to Roberto call a show.
These two trying to fill each other out. Yeah, if you were going to give it your expert opinion, who has the advantage in this matchup, Truth? I guess I'd have to say Tony Ortega, just because he's had experience the last couple shows working with somebody that's stronger, bigger. Well, you forget last night.
Yeah, that was nice.
Took on Hunter Gray, and gave him a good fight. So I would say this is about as evenly matched as it gets here at NRW. Well, then why did you ask me for my expert opinion? Well, I was going to see if you could maybe give me one way or the other. This is like, two of the best going at it. You got to have some opinion. I would actually give the slight edge to Chris Rath. He's been around the ring a little bit more, a little bit longer. Where's it? Near fall there.
Lucas, how did you keep your sanity sitting next to that guy?
I was just about to say, yeah.
How did you keep your sanity, bro?
And I'm still his friend to this day, so I'm a glutton for
I'd be friends with him. Absolutely, but my goodness.
You're not going to say this very often. Chris Rath has a size advantage.
I also did a radio show with this guy, so yeah, I don't know what my problems were.
Glutton for that kind of punishment.
Back when you had to be in the same room together to do a radio show.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't have a remote thing. There was no such thing as Discord yet, I don't believe.
No,
I don't think so.
You had IRC chat rooms.
Yeah, you guys were out there hustling before, like podcasts and all that were like this big.
Yes,
everybody
we were doing the radio. We were doing the radio thing for Peanuts.
Yep. I remember working at Fun City,
And just as I
And
said that,
Roberto
Chris Rath,
was like,
oh,
man,
he's
I
a
want
little
you
bit
to win that
aggressive
title
with the
so
knee right
bad.
to the
And I
gut.
was like, dude, there's no way in hell that's ever going to happen. I remember like vividly like having these conversations with him.
Yeah, and then you go to Bobby Lashley's gym and everything works out.
I'll tell you what, that drop kick right to the face
Another
might have cracked Tony Ortega's nose.
Ortega's face hole is different right now.
Yeah. His jaw's about three centimeters to the left.
turnbuckle, huge back elbow. This is
it's back
a little
now.
bit more of
He
a
moved it.
side of Rath than we've seen in the
Yeah, he
Popped it
fixed
right into place.
Great snapmare takeover. Oh, baseball slap
Nice
drop kick.
basement drop kick.
Going for the pinfall. Getting another 2 count.
Now Chris Rath getting very frustrated right now. He's taking it to Tony Ortega. He's gotten more aggressive. A couple of drop kicks to the face.
He's worked
At
over
the
that
same
knee as
time
well.
this
Now
was going
I'm a
on,
little surprised he hasn't gone back to that.
Chris
leg.
Rath was the champion of another company, and he was their longest reigning champion. And that was going on at like the same time that mine was going on.
Chris Rath's martial arts.
Right now it's a coin toss.
Whoever imposes their will. Oh! Because that's what ultimately you got to do. You can't change your
Chris has a
game.
hell of a back
Both
elbow,
these
doesn't he?
men excel at high flying professional wrestling.
Solid.
High flying moves.
Very crisp with almost everything that he delivered. All of his moves were just. I think that was the thing I noticed most about Chris, is that everything he did was very precise.
Due to the fact that
Is he still wrestling now, or is he retired?
On the high flying maneuvers. So
I think he's retired.
I know that he, I think he retired. I know he moved back out to Utah, and I'm not sure what he did after that. I know he wrestled for a little bit here and there.
I think he did a few things back here, but he didn't really stick with it too much longer. So he's been retired a few years. Tony Ortega, I'm not sure if Ortega still wrestles or not.
No, he moved to Florida. And
Yeah.
I think he was wrestling for a little bit. And he was training some people down there, but I think he's also
Gotta hook the
retired.
leg and
Yeah.
One thing we share in common, me and Tony Ortega, he's a big dachshund guy. So he loves wiener dogs, just like I
needed to
do.
get some kind of momentum going.
Lucas loves wiener
That would be a
dogs.
good idea.
This is
I love
facts.
wiener dogs.
See, I'm a big dog guy because I think that for a guy like me, if I had a little dog like that, it might just look a little weird.
Ortega
Yeah, I think you're
really just had the
I could only do a little dog. Bigger dogs just are in my space. And
very impressive.
The smallest dog I want is a black lab.
almost a perfect plex there.
I tell you what, Tony Ortega expending a lot of energy, kicking out at 2. What is Chris Rath working here, Lucas Bradwell?
He's working on that arm, wrenching that arm. That puts a lot of pressure on the elbow.
Rodrigo
Also
quizzing
that
you?
wrist.
What's he working on here, Lucas?
Yeah.
what do you call this? Go.
Well, I think he just wanted me to tell him, so he didn't look.
Right.
He's got his list out, arm bar.
Ortega got himself out of a bad situation there.
Lucas, you got glasses on. What body part is he working on right now? Bro, you're sitting 8 feet away from it. What are you doing?
Tony Ortega gets the hold broken.
I think Tony Ortega has had enough of getting beat on for the time being.
Wow, another reversal. We got a single figure 4 lock right here. No, we got a small package.
Small package, 1, 2.
Oh,
Only a 2
Oh, that
count.
was tight.
Huge body slam.
A leg drop.
Devastating leg drop there. Rath going off the ropes. Oh! Big knee. Just real aggressive offense.
Big Harley race knee there.
1, 2. Once again, just a 2 count. But how many near falls has that been?
that's been at least 3 or 4 of them.
Mortal
I'll tell you what,
Kombat.
the crowd seems puzzled. Not sure what to make of this. Not sure who to cheer for.
Yeah, these are 2 of the crowd favorites. Yeah, it's a little bit of an uneasy situation for the fans.
Oh, Right to the midsection.
But they're enjoying the action nonetheless. Oh, what a flip there. Flying crossbody.
Okay.
1, 2,
Oh.
Just
Again.
Nice sequence.
Wrath got the shoulder up. Oh, and look how Wrath is able to get
Right
up
back to
quickly.
that elbow.
Ortega's focused
Yeah.
on the referee.
This is the clothesline. Big high knee there.
Running knee, yeah.
Running
How
senton
are
splash.
both these men able to have this much left in the tank at this junction of the match?
Yes, I know it. It's still going like 90 miles an hour. This is just unbelievable.
Could you imagine going to the gym and being on the treadmill, going 100 miles per hour? That's exactly, we're seeing the equivalent of that right now in the ring.
Tilt-a-whirl. Oh, that tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, that had to take a lot out of Tony Ortega there.
Got him with enough of it. Tony looked like he tried to duck out of it.
Oh, another power slam.
Oh,
he ate the
he
knees.
got the, yeah, got the
on
knees
that
up.
moonsault attempt. This could be the opening that Ortega needs. See what kind of offense he can get. Beautiful belly to
Oh, there we go.
Ortega.
Oh, he's getting charged up. This crowd's getting charged up with him as he goes up to the top.
Oh, big
That
stop.
big double foot stop from the top rope. That's got to be it. 1, 2.
Rib breaker. Great match.
Really good.
Great match, yeah.
What a huge victory by the Lost Soul, Tony Ortega.
Oh, very impressive matchup. Both these men respected by the fans. High flying.
How was the music done at this time? Because this isn't the music that played in the arena, correct? Like the entrance music?
I don't think so.
I think it was. I don't know how.
Are we going to see a show of respect?
It sounds like it's edited.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like it's edited.
Yeah,
It sounds
think
for such a
probably-
big echoey building.
This is what NRW is all about.
I think these were re-edited after they put them on YouTube after a while.
Yeah, because of the copyright stuff.
I know you're charged up. We still have the return for primetime Paul Diamond later on tonight.
And we know that the champ will be in action later on in a non-title matchup. There's still
That's
lots
you,
to come.
bro.
And
Yes,
we
that
know
guy up there.
That Trajan will be in action as well. So stay tuned. More than NRW Charge. What a great night we have.
This is false
Dudes and Belts
advertising.
disclaimer. Dudes and Belts disclaimer. Dates and times are not accurate in 2023.
Dates and times are no longer applicable. Please visit RockyMountainProWrestling.com.
You want to talk about matchups that belong on a historic night like tonight? This match coming up is going to be absolutely out of this world.
I'll tell you what, it's Trajan Ender. Feeling good, looking good. I'll tell you what, he disposed of Hoodlum earlier tonight. Finally got what was coming to him.
Coming off the heels of Never Broken.
Trajan would do a lot of
He assaulted Hoodlum
the
backstage.
graphics and stuff like that for
He viciously
NRW
assaulted
shows.
Hoodlum
Then I think he
backstage
didn't he
at Never
design the
Broken.
logo too?
Yeah,
he was saying that
yeah, I
one
think
night.
so.
Yeah.
Tell it how it is.
You know, you belong in politics. You can spin a story like no one else. But
You tell
this
him,
is
Lucas.
a
He did. Yes.
terrific matchup taking on
We're going old school, baby. No green mat later. No Matthews no more.
back to the old school, back to the who's the heart and soul of NRW, Mercury Matt Yaden.
I think the reason for the name change was that since he was no longer employed by Impact Wrestling, he decided to go back to his original name of Mercury Matt Yaden.
The heart and soul of NRW, Mercury Matt Yaden. The guy who's founded this
KD's in the
company.
chat. Oh God, don't think less of me due to the production. KD, dude, don't.
We were just putting you over, dude.
Seriously.
Yeah. We were talking about how we were still doing switching and everything like that. Like, pretty awesome.
Want me to break it down for you?
Yes, please enlighten me.
Matt Yaden.
Yeah, you were making chicken salad out of chicken, you know what, for sure.
You know.
No, he gets a shot at Ohio Valley Wrestling. He's learning from the best. He gets a match with Matt Morgan.
Yeah, Katie and Chad, you'll see him every Tuesday night on Do's and Belts Recharge following Rocky Mountain Pro Charge.
Even better than you.
With me.
Once again, you spin a story. He has been nothing but gracious and humble since coming back from his stint with TNA. He has been such a great role model for these fans, and it just has been
A role
great leader in the NRW
role model.
Yes,
A role model. Somebody that acts like they're better than everybody, that treats everybody else like they're beneath them. You see how he treated Jason Bravo? I never did.
We all just saw it, I think.
The look up to Matt Yaden.
Yaden's trying.
Sure.
Lucas. Lucas.
Yeah.
You might want to read chat.
To name calling.
That's right. He actually,
No, I didn't mean that. We didn't have much to work with as far as equipment at that time. So.
Would you dare call a jerk to his face?
well,
I mean, he made me
knows
sound
he's a
good.
jerk.
So yes.
He doesn't even care anymore. The guy has such an attitude. He thinks that he's entitled.
Look at Matt Yaden there with this little smile. See, that's what you get right there. Oh, you're overconfident and you're cocky. That's what you get.
I will say that Trajan has been.
And we did work out of Extreme
extremely
Gym,
aggressive
so.
since coming to NRW.
You think you sounded good?
He seems to have an issue with just about everybody.
Shots fired.
Oh, boy, I'm thinking myself, dude.
He has an issue with Hoodlum. He has an issue.
All
with
it takes is one comment and Yaden just goes off, man.
He does.
Oh yeah,
It's like Santa Claus. He sees and hears everything.
Just aired a little bit of grievances, like we're all entitled to because it's America, it's a free country. You're not allowed to air some grievances. He pointed out some things.
We have an apology over on Twitch from Zamore. Lucas, sorry about Thursday.
I thought it was we wish you well on your future endeavors. I thought he was going to get future endeavors.
And then he jumped and assaulted Trajan Ender. That's what really happened.
Cry me a river. All he does is whine and cry and moan about everything that he's entitled to that he doesn't get. There is no entitlement.
It's not entitlement. It's called what's fair is what's fair. Everybody should get an equal opportunity, and has Trajan Ender gotten an equal opportunity?
Good.
I love that.
That's an arm drag.
Arm drag. It's so pretty.
That was
we'll see who
deep
comes out
from
on top.
the heart of Colorado there.
Man, to talk about fair, how fair is this? Really, you look at the size of Matt Yaden,
Love a good arm drag.
and then you look at the size of Trajan Ender.
Yeah.
How do you figure that that's a fair match? You saw how Ortega and Rathrum matched up together.
And look who won. So why can't Trajan do the
Alright.
same thing if he's so good? Like he
Is
said.
there like
KD in chat. You really didn't have the best equipment at the time. Commentary was running off my wife's computer and a pretty bad mic. My computer was playing music. I bought a camera and used my family's for one.
Okay, that's why you have reading glasses on, because obviously you're blind.
You do what you got to do with what you
Absolutely.
got. And that's it. You make lemonade out of lemons if you
Yaden goes about
can.
245, 250.
And despite all those disadvantages, despite
We've seen it
all
grow,
the
even like
politics,
from
Trajan Ender
you know
continues to be
the
successful
earlier
here in
episodes,
NRW,
you know,
including
from Red and Jerry's, from
Fun City.
Bobby's Gym. Yeah. You can see, like, I mean, the production quality has gone way up. So.
Oh, what a freaking clothesline!
Even from when you guys came back from COVID too, there was a huge difference.
Yeah.
From fast until now.
Yeah.
Look at the quickness of changing in there.
Always going up, baby. Always growing.
That's it.
He's got great ring awareness.
Always
You're not,
working.
if
Always
you're not
hustling.
growing, you're dying.
Very impressive.
Very impressive scissors kick there.
Now, give him his due credit, Lucas Cardwell.
I will. Trajan is as accomplished in the ring as anybody I've ever seen. But it's his attitude. It's his attitude that holds him back.
His attitude that's holding him back. Shouldn't it be ability? It's not his attitude, and it's not his ability. It's the powers that be that are holding Trajan back. And I think you're in on it. I think you're part of the problem.
Now,
you are.
I'm a part of the problem. Now, I have been accused by Trajan Ender of being a little biased at times. Now we're seeing the power come into play. The power of Mercury Magnet.
An axe handle.
How about
Everywhere across the ring,
Right.
axe handle.
He is.
And yeah, going to the top rope. We don't see this.
Where
much
is
of
he
Matt
going?
Hayden.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh,
Brilliant move by
Clutch
Trajan
of the
Ender
wall.
there.
I think that was inadvertent.
I'll tell you what, and Matt Yaden is left, hung out to dry. Can we see a knee by Trajan Ender here?
Like,
Oh, it's another!
Yeah!
Is that necessary, Lucas Bravo? Is that necessary? What is he doing here?
that's called payback.
beach clothesline.
Payback.
Hey, if it was good enough for Trajan, it's good enough for Hoodlum. What did you think? That Hoodlum was just going to stand idly by and allow that to
now
happen?
let's count the times that Hoodlum has done this. Hoodlum's done this about 10 times.
Are you... What's...
Hoodlum's done this about 10 times.
I think...
And Trajan Ender's done this twice.
Tell you...
Yeah, Hoodlum's interfered in Trajan's matches about 10 times in a row.
Are you... You need to get back to math 101.
Yay! Exactly what Trajan deserves.
Hoodlum,
People like Golden Boy over there, Hoodlum, acting just like that.
Thanks, but no thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're Matt Yaden right there.
I say Matt Yaden the match right there. Now he's got to explain to Matt Yaden how he screwed him out of the match.
Looks like they're having a little conversation.
What the future would hold for those two.
Oh my goodness. You know, we've heard so much about it here on Dudes and Belts. You guys lived it, you guys watched it, but to go back and actually see it for ourselves, that's the best part about the rewind. You were talking a little bit about it before the show started here, that the best part is going back and looking and seeing where everybody who's here now came from. At least for me, that's the best part of the rewind. I love it.
As a guy who is involved, it's fun watching it because a lot of it I've only seen like the first time we put it online, and then I haven't seen it since, you know. So a lot of it, I know I've still haven't seen my. I shouldn't say haven't. It's been forever since I've seen like my Chavo match. So this is why I like Rewind. KD brought up the Vampire Saga. That is something I'm also looking forward to as well.
Wait, what?
The Danger Dean Vampire Saga. That's going to be in the future, but
that'll be interesting.
It was fun.
Unfinished business.
And I'll if you guys will let me, I'll definitely come back for that because I want to watch that again.
For his return here tonight, live at Extreme.
You're welcome to join whenever you're bored on a Sunday night.
His opponent.
Do it.
You want to talk about charged
Absolutely,
up?
bro.
Look at this crowd get charged up here when this guy gets announced.
That music still haunts me to this day. To this
I can
day.
understand.
You want to talk about getting charged up? That's what it's about. The man who leads the Duffericia. It is Duff Doyle in the house.
All I can think of is pumpkins now. Anytime I hear it,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why. All I can think of is pumpkins.
Pick up your retro Duff Doyle merchandise at any Walmart from September to December.
Duff Doyle comes to the ring. Spirit Halloween.
Duff Doyle is charged up. Saw a real aggressive side of him. Last time we saw Duff Doyle in the middle of the ring.
I saw like 8 guys with Duff Doyle hats on today in Maine. Oh wait, it's just hunting season.
It's hunting
that
season
Duff
up there.
Doyle is on his mission to become the NRW champion. He has been working his way up the ladder in the last few months, basically starting from the very ending.
Your referee tonight, Tommy Boucher.
And here we go. This is going to be one outstanding matchup. 2 of the biggest names in NRW history in the middle of this ring.
I tell you what, it's all about, we're on primetime television, it's about primetime Paul Diamond.
Well, he's got his hands full with the NRW favorite, Duff Doyle.
Oh, and you talk about charged up. We haven't seen primetime Paul Diamond in some time.
Look at this. Look how he was already going for a quick trailer hitch there.
You say Paul Diamond listed at 153 pounds. He doesn't fight like a 153-pound man. Primetime Paul Diamond takes a fight team like he's a 300-pound man and that he's 7 feet tall.
He does. He's very aggressive, very dangerous. He knows a lot of different holds. He can use those quick feet. And once again, looks like Duff's not trying to waste any time.
Right for that trailer hitch.
Yeah, he is.
Much too smart. Paul Diamond's been around the block a long time. Duff Doyle's not going to get that trailer hitch on him.
Oh my goodness!
That sounded ouchies.
Unbelievable.
Oh, I can feel that through my dress shirt, Lucas Bradwell. And Paul Diamond said, bring it on, baby. Oh, look at that. You can see the hand imprint of Duff Doyle on the peg of Paul Diamond. And what is that?
Oh, you don't know where that toilet was.
That's
That
gross.
used?
That's
You never
gross.
know. That could have been used with a guy like Duff. You never
mean
know.
the toilet paper he just got out of the bathroom before he got into the ring.
That's sacred paper. That gives Duff his powers.
Sacred paper.
Did you say that gives Duff his powers?
Look at that squatting.
Yeah, I did.
It's sacred
How impressive
paper.
was that?
It's toilet paper, not the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Oh, authoritative
Hey.
kick out by Paul Diamond at 2.
With Duff
Hey, in
Doyle
early
in the-
2020,
He's
that
just
much
gotta
toilet
weather this
paper
storm
would have
here.
been worth
That's
like
true.
$32.
That's
So I
true.
guess.
He's overexcited. But I tell you what, when you're that charged up, you make mistakes. You slip up. And guys like Paul Diamond, they can see through the cracks. They take advantage of every little opening that you give them.
And just like that, Paul Diamond has the advantage in this matchup.
Oh, European uppercut.
What a Euro.
This crowd trying to get their man back into this matchup. Duff Doyle. Wait, look at
What a reversal did. Reverse DDT there. Unbelievable move.
But Duff was able to kick out. Duff showing his heart.
Yeah,
his
but look at the
resilience.
damage that DDT did to Duff Doyle.
Big knee there.
And you don't see many guys the size of Paul Diamond that are able to ground bigger individuals such as Duff Doyle and be successful at it.
Once again, this Duff Doyle militia is deafening in here.
They're distracting Paul Diamond. They need to show some respect and be quiet.
You know, when you make it to the big show and it's like an NRW charge, you got to be ready for this crowd. This crowd gets intense. They're charged up as well. Oh, Duff misses. Did you see his face bounce off that turnbuckle there? Oh my! Are you kidding me?
Damn!
Maybe out cold.
Right. Oh, what a move.
You sing a look.
What a shining lizard kick there.
I'll tell you what, this crowd is charged up. Both men are down. Referee Tommy Boucher is giving the count right now.
Wait, his teeth disappear.
See, I don't know how Duff's able to get up after that kick.
Kick the boogers out of his nose.
Big hip toss. Hip toss. Duff, the master.
Look, Duff's got some hair on the top of his head. That's his nose hairs that Paul Diamond just picked up through his skull.
And there he's going. He's going for that turtle hitch. There he goes.
No.
Able to block it. Oh! There's that trip onto that turnbuckle. My goodness. What an intense matchup we've had.
Intense matchup. This crowd is charged up. We're here live, NRW Charge from Extreme Gym 24/7.
Sliced bread.
Oh, he went for it.
There's a helicopter spin. Here we go.
And they spinning, and they spinning, and they spinning, and they spinning.
A couple of elbows, and he's down.
What heart these two are showing.
Oh, look at him slip under. No.
Here we go. 1, 2.
No. That's not how it's supposed to happen.
Good job. That was a good finish.
He's supposed to win. No.
This barrel. And what a victory.
Diamond had that.
But Duff.
And his return. Duff just ruined Paul Diamond's return.
Hey, Duff showed great heart, great resiliency. And Duff is well on his way, climbing back up that ladder to get to that NRW championship that he so dearly and desperately wants. What a winning streak that Duff's been on.
Duff is on a winning streak on his continued quest to a championship match with the greatest man in NRW history, the champ, Danger Dean.
I agree with Roberto there.
It's not often.
No.
Every once in a while, he says something that makes sense, though.
Look, I know you don't like that guy, okay? I understand that, but... Look, man, look. No, you look. I don't like him either, okay? And I want to work together, okay? I know this is like the most unlikely pairing in the history of professional wrestling, right? I never thought I'd be working with you, but I am, okay? If we're going to be doing this together, you know, the rumor is that Big Mike Smooth is instituting tag belts here in the next few months, right? I think you and I stand the best chance of securing those titles. But if we keep doing stupid things, if you keep doing stupid things like that, look, doing things to cost both of us opportunities.
Look, okay, thank you. Will you please come talk some sense into this guy? I gotta get my hands on Trajan Ender. You don't understand. I cannot go any farther with this company without getting my hands on Trajan Ender. So I need you to make it happen. Please, as my friend, make it happen.
And that's fine. I have no problem making a match between you and Trajan Ender. In fact, I think it'd be better if I put you two in a tag match, and I go tell Trajan he needs to find a tag partner.
Good.
And at next week's episode, make that happen.
All right. Thank you.
I can deal with it.
Thank you.
That was probably a very genuine reaction from you.
What was that?
Yes!
That's a too sweet.
Time here, live from Extreme Gym 24/7. Get charged up. The greatest man in NRW history. The champion is here.
Now, wait a minute.
There he is. The longest reigning champion and the greatest man in NRW history.
44 days.
Ooh, I was counting it then. Okay, I wasn't sure when I started actually counting.
Look at how Cutter Bay.
Oh, look at the disrespect.
In the back and heard your commentary earlier tonight. 344 days.
Turn their back on Dean.
That's about the same amount of days since you made love to your wife.
Hey, now leave my.
So
Was
for
that,
anybody that's new to RMP and new to the Rewind, why don't you let people know what they were actually doing, Dean?
As far as who?
The militia.
The militia. So if you're not unfamiliar with the history, the guy who wrestled before, Duff Doyle, in the orange, him and I were tag partners early on in NRW, and we were, fan favorites. The militia loved me, and then I turned my back on Duff, which it led to securing that title that I carry. So I ended up beating Duff basically to unify some titles. So they hate my guts, and rightfully so. I would hate me too.
All right. Back to the match.
Bedroom business out of it, but I will say this is the greatest reign in NRW history.
This is the main event.
The way that he's won about it, it is the greatest.
Hunter, don't eat the child.
We've ever seen. So I will give him that. And it's.
I always worry about that. He looks at all the kids like they're food.
He literally does. Yeah.
Champ wants the mic.
You know, you think that being the NRW champion for a record 344 days, that I would show up in a much better mood, but the problem is, I constantly have to look over my back. When guys like Big Mike Smooth are controlling the show, it feels like he needs to stick his nose. Shut up when I'm talking! Just to ensure that I make it to 365 days, this title will not be on the line.
A wild KD appeared.
What is this?
What?
What just happened?
I don't know.
Someone's bringing the sexy.
It's Esteban. Like the commercials back in the day where you learned to play guitar, right? Guitar lessons with Esteban. Oh no, it's Red Viper.
Almost took down half the set in the process.
He just funneled the Red Bull. Leave him alone. He's all
Hey, you gotta get hyped up to go against Danger Dean.
That's it.
Well, and this was his NRW debut. This was his first match in NRW. So he's probably a little bit nervous.
Going against the longest reigning champion in NRW history.
And the greatest man in NRW history. Don't forget it. Do it right.
You keep on saying this greatest man. I don't know anything great about this man, besides the fact that he's been NRW champion for 344 days. And we are underway. Again, this is a non-title matchup.
I saw that too.
I noticed that. Yeah,
I saw that too.
Red Viper talks.
He does talk. In fact,
What's best is the owner of the building had to be pulled out of the way before Viper took her out on the entrance.
She would have gotten wrecked because he almost took out the whole left side of the stage there.
got this opportunity to face the
Yeah,
NRW
I'm not quite
champion.
sure why she thought she had to stand right by the entrance.
She needed a
He's had
picture.
quite-
You gotta be in the shot, man.
Libre style athlete. But never before has he faced a guy like Danger Dean. And of course the insurance policy, 100 Rays.
On the count.
Look at that nonchalant cover. Danger Dean better not take Red Viper lightly. I know
Let's be honest. You got the greatest man
Yeah.
in NRW history, champion for 344 days, and you got Red Viper. And you expect Danger Dean to take this guy seriously? Come on.
Well, the unknown sometimes can be the most dangerous. This guy is a virtual unknown, and if Danger Dean takes him lightly, you know.
Oh.
That was clever.
And
Yeah.
what a welcome to NRW Red Viper's getting right now.
Yeah, admonishing Hunter Gray before he hasn't done anything. He's just stood out there and he's supporting.
No, that's Tommy doing his
mentor,
job.
Danger Dean.
I totally agree with you so far. He's been well beat. He's been
Dean, you gotta bring this level of intensity this week.
Wow.
shit.
my
I think I'm going to have to. I have to dig deep.
Is it safe to say I think Danger Dean might be in a bad mood tonight?
I think the last time we were there, I did overhear somebody say that Curtis likes getting chopped.
Oh, good. I've got a bunch for him.
That the NRW hierarchy has not been.
I know I heard somebody say that in the back.
Accomplishment of 344.
Oh, he loves it. Trust
Is
me.
that little Chase? Is that little Chase like him in the front row there?
I think that is Chase Lycum. Yeah,
Because
he's one of
he's got that title right there, right? Was that, I forgot that was this night.
And he's about to accomplish that very feat.
It is a very, very tall task.
Well, we
This
did.
is like a
I
relief sharpshooter, Dean. What is this?
Submission maneuver. We don't
Clover
see this
shooter.
very often.
We're sinking it in deep.
With the sharpshooter.
Well, I mean, you did the sharpshooter, but you got the arm in there like the clover leaf, too.
If 344 days doesn't impress you, what about these names? Duff Doyle, Tyler Cintron,
Superstar Andrew Ryan.
He's gone through everybody. Everyone that stepped in his way, he's gone through everybody single-handedly, on his own, without any help.
And that's where you would be sadly mistaken. If it wasn't for Hunter Gray, he would not be the champion. And I know that hurts you. I know that hurts Danger Dean.
Wait, whoa, hold on. Did not Danger Dean defeat Tyler Cintron one-on-one?
After Hunter Gray
did he do it? Yes or no?
No.
Yes or no?
No, because he.
Then how is Danger Dean still the champion?
Because once again,
Is it a one-legged Rana?
your man Hunter Gray came out and distracted when he wasn't even supposed to be out there in the first place.
I tell you what, Red Viper. Oh! Red Viper had a little bit of momentum, and that's
Another
why he
backbreaker.
is the champion.
There's that backbreaker.
But speaking of that, if I remember, that match was restarted, and Danger Dean won twice. He beat Tyler Cintron not once, but twice. And in just about 10 seconds, Danger Dean's going to be victorious again.
And there's that spear.
That's it.
That spear. 1, 2, 3.
And I hope we see that Thursday.
Get ready for
This got me hyped up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Woo! Greatest man in NRW history. You're NRW champion, whether you like it or not. Danger Dean. Now, what can you say about that?
I can say nothing but that was a very, very, look at this. This is uncalled for, though. This is your great man.
Welcome to NRW, Red Viper. Welcome to Charge. Welcome to Extreme.
Duff Doyle! Duff Doyle! Look at Duff. Duff Doyle trying to run.
Oh, Duff Doyle, that's the man Danger Dean defeated to be the undisputed champion 344 days ago. It's perfect time for a history lesson.
Well, one thing for sure, Duff Doyle,
Carve the
has
pumpkin.
his sights set on Danger Dean and that title. Danger Dean better look over his shoulder, because Duff Doyle is got his sights set on that NRW championship.
All right.
All right, good episode.
What an episode.
Stuff. Good stuff.
Love it. Ready for Thursday.
All right. So before we get into everything with El Presidente over here, let's take a quick 2-minute commercial break here. We'll be right back, and we'll begin the members only portion of tonight's show. So we'll see you back in a few minutes, folks.
Don't miss a moment of Rocky Mountain Pro action with options that suit your tastes and needs. Check out new episodes of Charged and Ignition. Interact with your favorite stars and personalities, all for free. Subscribe on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, or follow us on Rumble. Upgrade to the pay-per-view membership on YouTube and don't miss out on any past and present special events and episodes of Charged with more content added all the time. Check us out on any of these platforms and search RMP Wrestling to get more pro wrestling elevated.
Gregory Rise locked into this time, and he catches all of it. World's prettiest elbow you saw here on Charge.
no. What a frog splash!
Don't miss them.
All right, folks. Well, as you can see, the dudes in Danger Dean also took a break as well. So we're going to be waiting a few more minutes here.
I'm back here.
Lucas is good. Lucas is good. We have Lucas and Marky's Chair on the show right now. So welcome, Marky's Chair. Let's see. So what I did is YouTube is now in members only. All right. And that's all
Sorry,
set
I
up on
forgot to shut
YouTube. What's that?
Forgot to shut my camera off. My bad. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
that's right. You can still hear me. And over
Yes, I
on
can.
Twitch, we switched everything to subscriber only because it's basically the same price as a tier 1 over there. So we have subscribers on Twitch and we have members over on YouTube. If you're either one of those, you're able to interact live in chats of those platforms to ask Dean the important questions on what's going on in the future here at Rocky Mountain Pro. As for Rumble, if you can't, I don't think you'd be a member just yet. I don't think we set those up. But if you do give like a 99-cent dono or something over on Rumble, or any money amount over on Rumble for a donation to support the channel, your question will be read live to Danger Dean, and that's how we're going to work Rumble this evening. So now that I have all the chats in its proper mode, what we're going to do is one of the dudes here, either one, doesn't matter, we'll start things off, and then as soon as I see a question from YouTube chat, Twitch chat, or Rumble chat, that's going to be the priority question. We want to make sure we get all the members, all the subscribers' questions first and foremost ahead of our questions. So that's what's going to happen. So we're going to have one of you guys start off, and I will be manning all the freaking chats. So good luck to me.
Away.
And dudes, have at it. And Coastal, you're muted.
Say, Marky, I usually start these, so go ahead. You can start.
Oh, excellent. So, Dino, first question out of the gate.
Let's go.
Right, man. I was there at the Colorado Cup. I watched you win it. It was a hell of a performance. We're less than a week away. What's it been like? Just let the people, let's start easy. What's it been like to be back in the ring? What's it been like to train again? How's it been feeling to roll? And did you get that first wake up bump? You know what I'm saying? That is like, hey, welcome back.
Oh.
Well, that question was so solid it shut his light off.
It did. Whoa.
Sure. I'm not sure why it's plugged in.
We do have our first question in chat already, so after this question, goes right to chat.
I have no idea why that light just randomly turns off. There's like full battery on it. I have no idea why it does that. So no, it's been cool. So doing commentary, there is that wrestler in me that I get that itch just about every time I do commentary, and then doing it next to D'Lo Brown, it just adds on to that little spice. I'd be lying if I said that it's been a tumultuous year as far as taking physical abuse from some of these guys in the back. And that's I think kind of contributed to some of this fire that I've been able to find. But I'm really enjoying my time back in the ring. I think I'm doing it right. I'm taking things slow. I'm not trying to go a million miles an hour there. I know how Curtis Cole, I know, the strategy he likes to use. I have a really good strategy, I think, going into this. And did I get the initial big bump out of the way? I did. And I woke up the next morning and I walked around normal and everything was fine. So I've got a confidence right now that's at an all-time high.
Because I remember when one of the last times we were there this past June at Milestone, after one of the shows, I saw you looking at the ring, and you walked in, I walked in, and I don't know if you remember, but we shared a little crisscross session with each other. We started running the ropes, and I saw your face, man. There was like a twinkle that you were kind of happy to just be there and just do something like that. And here we are more than a few months later, and it's really, really here, dude. I'm so happy for you. I'm proud of you, and I just want you to go in there and kick that dude's ass. Like, seriously.
Thank
seriously.
you. Yeah. If there was any more of a worthy ass to be kicked, I think that's Curtis Cole in a nutshell. And I love the shirt. Again, we got to mention the shirt. I love it.
Very, very worthy ass to be kicked. Yes.
All right. We have a question from Sarah. Joel Dean, will you be wearing new gear or your old gear for Shocktober? And then an emote, see you soon.
Yes. I went back and forth between this. Like, did I want to get some new gear? But I think I'm gonna stay with the old stuff. After back and forth, I think I'm gonna go with the familiar feel. And I'm not a very superstitious person as far as like what I'm wearing when certain things happen. So I know like I wasn't really successful in the green when I'm challenging for championships, but the green has brought me some very prosperous times. So yes, I will be rocking the old school gear and try to capture some of that old school Danger Dean in the process.
All right, and that is the only one out of all the chats thus far. Still keeping an eye on it. So continue, dudes.
So, Dean, you have seen Curtis wrestle many, many times. You watched him kind of grow up, go through all this. And I assume you guys have been in the ring a few times. What is different with this Curtis Cole that you could see just from observing him over the last year during commentary that you think separates him, even though he was younger, probably in a little bit better shape, has more gas, but now it's just different? And what is it about that presents the biggest challenge to you?
Yep, I was there when Curtis first started his training. I was coaching at the time. I've been in the ring with Curtis Cole. I have pinned Curtis Cole. That is what the record books show you. But you're right, time has passed. And there is a big change in that Curtis Cole and the Curtis Cole who holds the RMP championship now. And I think one of the biggest changes that we've seen is he was just a reckless kid when he first started. He would throw all ambition to the wind. There really wasn't anything he was worried about. Not saying that he's worried about anything now. I think he just has a more calculated approach to the things that he does. He doesn't, as we all get a little older, the tank tends to run a little lower than normal. And he is utilized that just well. He said he's in the best shape of his life. And that is something I don't think any of us can argue with. I can see that every time I see him get in the ring. I saw it against David Drake when he won the title. I know that the Curtis Cole that I'm about to get in the ring with is a very, very much different guy than, almost a decade ago or right around there now. So, there's a lot that I've taken into consideration. I've watched old Curtis tape. I've watched new Curtis tape. There's a lot to be learned from a guy like that, and a guy that really has closed himself off to everybody in the more recent years.
No, I don't know if that's by his choice or by the other people's choice, just not wanting to associate with Curtis Cole. But
he's a jerk.
That's putting it lightly. You did mention that he's in the best shape of his life, and that goes to something, we were talking about how he was younger back then, but I think all of us being athletes and having passions that we go after, you can't outrun Father Time, but there are ways you can be better conditioned than you were when you were younger. You're better conditioned mentally to go with the physicality. Dean, do you think you're in better condition, as good condition as you were the last time we saw you step in the ring, which was 24 months ago?
Yeah,
Milestone 11, I believe.
Well, Milestone, yes, but I meant in a one-on-one match.
Well, we're not going to talk about Milestone 11. We're gonna go back to Milestone 10. Now, I feel as good as I did when I went back to the ring in 2020. I take it a few years. When I was moving, I just wasn't, wrestling wasn't on my front, focus. But when I started training in Washington, I feel about as good as I did then, and I was winning titles in Washington. So I was able to do it then, and I think I'm able to do it now. Yeah, I have suffered an injury that has prevented me from being, a full-time competitor these last few years. But I think, with the right preparation, and I think I've taken, the right steps, I feel as confident as I think I feel even more confident now than I did when I was challenging Dustin Urich for the title, not once, but twice. I'll admit that now. The confidence level was high, but there was a lot stacked on the plate when I was wrestling Dustin. It was winning the title, and it was defending my title as longest reigning champion in the company's history. There was a lot of pressure, and this time around, the only thing I have is that title to focus on, and I think that's gonna be a benefit for me, and that's gonna be a big hindrance for Curtis.
All right, we got a couple more questions in chat here. We have KD. Who will you appoint as your ref for the match?
KD is asking. Okay. Ooh. So I got pressure because Maki Pins is right here. So
there's no pressure, sir. You do your thing.
I'm not sure who's gonna be like on the, in the building for the match as far as wearing the stripes. I've got a long history with KD as my referee. I've had some amazing moments. Yeah, I've had some really good moments in the ring with KD. Dewey's always been there for some of my bigger matches as well. Maki, I would love to have Maki referee my match. To have
I'd be honored, bro. I'd be honored to ref your match. I seriously would.
Yeah, it depends on our options, but
very true.
Yeah, let's see who's there and how things boil down. But I think we're gonna get someone. It's gonna be someone good, and trust me, it will be somebody handpicked. Don't worry.
All right, and same person, different question. Who are your top 5 up and comers in Rocky Mountain Pro that everyone should be watching?
Ooh, I like it. Your 5 up and comers. So, I mean, there's what would qualify as like up and comer, like less than a year in, less than 2 years in.
Probably between year 1 and 2.
Year 1 and 2. Okay. Probably. I mean, first Briscoe Crown. We've got to mention our charge champion is just one of those guys that when he's in the ring, you've got no choice but to watch. I'll put Briscoe in there. I will put our youngest competitor, Noelle. We'll throw her in there too. I think that's somebody that when she starts getting her legs under her, I know that the marionette has kind of started traveling a little bit, and that is a big step as far as being a pro wrestler goes. I think. Gosh. Who I really enjoy watching right now, and it kind of took me by surprise where I was like, wow, okay, this is fun. Camacho. young Jared is
Yes,
has been
Very much.
so much fun to watch. So that one
very
is
impressive at
yeah.
such a young age. Very impressive.
Yeah, blew me away. Like, we see him at training and it does, it's hard to see what will translate into real match time from, training and from practice, but it's he's been really fun to watch. So we'll go ahead and go with him. Let's say gosh, there's let's see. I mean, Remy, I think Remy kind of falls out of the up and comer. I think Remy's kind of kicked the door in.
I agree
think
with you
he's
there.
arrived.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think he's arrived. Carson Drake is another competitor that's kind of started walking through our doors and has made, I mean, as much as the fans don't agree with what he has to say a lot of the times, he really did kick the door in Rocky Mountain Pro this year. He was a lot of fun.
It's definitely making your job a little bit more difficult as well.
Yeah. It makes it fun as far as, the wrestling landscape to throw
Him
a
and
wrench in my...
Him and his giant friend Dalton.
Yeah, well,
seriously.
And then we'll go ahead and throw Dalton on there too. That's a big explosive competitor. So there is a plethora of young stars. Adrian Mosquera is another one that, like,
yes,
you got to keep your eyes on her. I've seen her pop up all over the place. So yeah, you the cool thing about RMP, and it's been like this through the years, is usually the people under this umbrella are going to have some eyes on them, and it's for a good reason. These kids bust their ass. It's one of those things where I sit back, most of the time I'm like, man, I really want to do this, but I'm glad that I don't have to get in there with that guy. It's there's a lot of that that goes on with our roster, and that speaks highly for sure.
I believe that's all the questions we have thus far. So back to the dudes.
Lucas, do you have anything before I just went next?
Yeah, I'll go. I've got something because, I've got a long history of calling Danger Dean matches and watching Danger Dean, and we've 12 years of history between us, and
working side by side, man.
Yeah, a long history of also, you've had some wins against Curtis Cole, but you've had some struggles because at Milestone 6, Curtis Cole won his first title, the Charge Championship, in a triple threat match with you and Anaya. And then at the following Shocktober of 2017, he won his first Rocky Mountain Pro Championship in I believe it was the Fatal 4-Way that you were also involved in. So you've got a history of kind of, I don't know if you're a good luck charm for Curtis Cole or what, but you've been involved in some of Curtis Cole's best moments. Does that at all play any play in the back of your mind at all as maybe a little bit of a motivating factor in this matchup? Because you've got the second longest reign as being Rocky Mountain Pro champion, but Curtis Cole has a lot of other notches on his belt that he's got over you. What becoming the third two-time Rocky Mountain Pro champion, is that play in your back of your mind that you kind of need this victory to kind of put yourself back up there with a guy like Curtis Cole?
So I think this time around, like I said, I'm not really even thinking about being the third ever two-time. I'm just focused on just trying to overcome the mountain. Like I said with Dustin, I think I had just overloaded my plate. I had so many things that I had to worry about. This time I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible. I never really looked at it that way, that that it's that I've been Curtis's good luck charm. But the thing about luck is that eventually it runs out. So if I have been the rabbit's foot in Curtis's pocket, that thing just fell out because this Thursday, his time's up.
Rabbit foot fell out a long time ago, and he replaced it with some brass knucks.
True. Now that's a whole nother a whole nother scenario that that I've had to consider, because we know that Curtis can't be trusted, whether he comes down to the ring alone or not. He's always got another plan B, plan C, plan D.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's a question from the chat that's going to put you on the hot seat.
Ooh.
Better commentary partner, Lucas, myself, KD, or D'Lo?
Oh, geez. I'll just put myself out of this. I'm not even. I'll answer that question. So now it's just between KD and D'Lo.
Well, D'Lo is just, I mean, trust me, like working with KD is a blast. I've watched KD grow as a commentator when I had moved out of Colorado, and that was pretty awesome to see. Like, who knew? Like, he's a damn good commentator. And then Lucas, and then, you know, if you peel the curtain back a little bit, Lucas, KD, and I all went to the same broadcasting school. We've known each other for a very, very long time. So there is a lot of history there. But it's D'Lo Brown, man. And then in this sense that when I came back to RMP and was, you know, jumped into that the lead commentator role, D'Lo wasn't there saying, this is how it needs to be done. This is how we have to do it. This is what you've got to do. He kind of just let me go with it. And then he, you know, and in that sense, you learn a lot, because there's a lot of freedom, and you see what works and what doesn't work. And that's a lesson that I don't think I'll ever forget. So I'm going to have to go with D'Lo. I love you guys. I really do. But I got to go with D'Lo.
Even
can
KD conceded. Even KD conceded in the chat. He goes, I concede. You can't beat D'Lo.
Just cannot. You can't.
And can I also just say thank you, Dean, for giving me the opportunity to be able to do commentary with D'Lo for the past month or so. It's been great time. So, and I'm glad that I was able to kind of take something off of your plate so you could train for this. So this was I think both me and KD have got to agree. We've both had a blast doing commentary with D'Lo since you've been training. So it's been great.
You just cannot deny D'Lo Brown. There's a certain, just like, I don't know. It's hard. You know, KD and Lucas can tell you, there's a certain just something else he brings just by being at the table. You become a better person and a better performer just by sitting next to D'Lo. So
he's genuine. That's what I get out of D'Lo. He's genuine.
You have no idea how true that statement is. Like, he is just one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet. So.
All right.
It really is.
I think that's it for all the chats as of right now. Dudes, it's all you. Still keeping it between the matchup coming up on Thursday.
Okay. So I got one here. We were talking a couple minutes ago, and you brought up your milestone 10 match when you wrestled Dustin Urich, and how maybe you said you had a whole lot on your plate. Now fast forward here to this past year, where you have presidential duties and you have all kinds of things like that, but then you get in the Colorado Cup and you win, and now there's all of this overlap, right? And we know that you've taken a step back, and we know there have been people in the chat that have been perpetrating all this garbage, that, you know, somehow he's ignoring this to just think of himself, and we kind of know that's not true.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
I understand this. I'm leading into something, Johnny. So how has it been for you to have that level of responsibility, but still have to kind of put it aside, but still find the balance of needing to be some kind of authority, but still having a job to do to take care of what you've won, this opportunity at Curtis Cole in 4 short days? What's that balance? I know you've given up a little commentary duty to Lucas, and he's been kicking ass with D'Lo on Charged, and it's been wicked good. But what else has been either difficult or easy to kind of put aside and just get ready? How's the mental focus kind of been through it?
It's not been easy to just kind of walk away from some of the duties. A lot of stuff that I'm there hands-on, I'm not able to be there hands-on. So it's usually, you know, it's not, and trust me, and again, we will get to that here in a little bit. I know I've seen the frustration. I've seen the comments. I know that it's not the most popular of opinions, but there was a lot going into this. David Drake was the guy. You know what I'm saying? That was who we were trying to stop. David Drake was tear-assing through this entire company on a whole nother level. So on a whim, you know, it was like, okay, I had gotten so much criticism for what David Drake was doing. I was like, fine, I will throw myself in front of the bus and I will take care of this problem myself. And in the meantime, and first off, winning the Colorado Cup, not something I was 100% confident I was going to do. It was like, okay, if I can, you know, try to handle this myself, I will. And then lo and behold, you know, the way the cards fell, I ended up winning. And at that moment, there was a switch, and the switch turned on. And I think any former competitor, maybe even current competitor, can tell you that once that competitive edge comes into play, it's easy to turn it on, and it's kind of hard to turn it off. I'll be very honest; it's very hard to turn it off. But as soon as we won the cup, it was, and I say we because my people were there too, and there was a lot of support from everybody. So when we won the cup, it was go time. Like it didn't matter who it was. And again, I didn't think Curtis Cole was going to be as successful as he was in his match against David Drake. And now the focus has shifted to Curtis Cole, but the switch has been on ever since. And now, we are just 4 short days away, as you said. And I'm busting at the seams. I'm ready to get back in there. I'm ready to do my thing here in Colorado, and we're going to start era number 2 in the Danger Dean Rocky Mountain Pro Championship history.
That's what we're talking about, baby.
Like
That's
it.
all we're looking to see, baby. That's what we want.
Still nothing in the chat.
Okay. So let's say everything goes to plan D. Let's say you dethrone Curtis Cole. You are now the Rocky Mountain Pro Champion. And this impulse of the Colorado Cup has now become, now I have to defend it. What does that look like inside the mind of a non-full-time, am now the president, and now I have a belt?
The belt.
That is probably been one of the more interesting things to navigate. Because again, if I win that championship, I'm not hiding from anybody. We're defending it. We're gonna do the people who've held the belt in the past. We're going to do it justice. We're going to make sure that title is respected, and I will be defending it. And I know what that entails physically. And I think if it was something that I had started the training and figured out, this is probably something that I can't physically handle, I probably would have thrown the towel in or tried to figure out some kind of alternative. You know what I mean? How can we handle this? And I would have gone that route. But as I said, I've been training, and I've been taking well to the training again. And, I haven't had any red flags. We talked about that first big bump, and we did it. I've had some really good training partners here the last few months too. And I think I'm ready to go. If we need to go and prove this company right, I will do it as president, and I will do it as champion. There's going to be 2 levels to this. I can handle it in the back, and then I can handle it in the ring if I need to.
You are the mullet of champions.
That's right. I am
business in the front, party in the back.
Well said, sir. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
All right.
I need that on a shirt now. That has to be a shirt.
That is a shirt. That is a shirt.
All right. So we have still no questions in chat. I think everybody is just curious on what's coming up next. So we'll just change gears right now. Obviously, with you challenging for the RMP championship, people are very concerned that you're paying attention or focusing less on your role as Rocky Mountain Pro president, and putting more focus on your championship match, which you should be focused at some point to that match anyway, regardless. But there are a lot of questions, and there are questions because there's been a lot of stuff going on in RMP since you won the Colorado Cup and since you've been training for this match coming up on Thursday. Before we get into any specific questions, Dean, I'll let you have the floor, and you can kind of stand your ground over this issue and just let the RMP faithful know what's up.
Yeah, and again, I've seen the comments, and it's fair. The criticism is absolutely fair, and that's something that I think when you take on a role like I've taken on, it kind of comes with the territory. Not everybody is going to agree with you. That comes for the president of a company. That comes for the president of a country. It doesn't matter who is in charge. Not everybody is going to agree fully with what's going on. This is a very unique situation. This isn't something that typically happens. And honestly, if you have a guy who's retired, you don't usually see him get back in the ring. Now, like I said, it was a moment where I felt like my back was up against the wall. At this point, I'm handling the paperwork, and I get that takes away from a lot of the stuff, the chaos that's been going on. And I will say my presidential run has been tumultuous, to say the very least. There has been a lot of wild stuff that I really wasn't predicting being a thing, taking this role, but here we are, and I will be back. And this, none of what you see is going to go unpunished, just so you know. Dad's away, but Dad's got a camera in the living room and he's watching all of the chaos that's going on. So have your fun. Have your fun now. Run amok and do what you got to do. But as soon as Daddy gets home, the belt's coming off, boys. So, I get it. And the frustration is warranted. I would be frustrated as a fan too. Like, what is happening? I'd be frustrated as an employee. We've had non-wrestling employees also have to kind of start, watching their back and worrying about whether or not their safety is going to be in question. So don't worry.
I think that was the beginning. I think during that backstage segment with Brew and Echo and Brew pushing the cameraman, I think that's what really started the whole thing.
Yeah, no. And that was really when I started seeing criticism, not just from what we see here in comments, but from the back. There's a lot of, trust me, a lot of noise in the backstage, that a lot of fans don't see, and that a lot of people don't see, that I do, and that we're dealing with as well. People are worried to come to work, and that's something that if we have any more of that, fines will be levied. And in the world of professional wrestling, we are not football players. We're not making multi-million-dollars a year. A fine in our company is a very, very serious thing. So if we have any more of that, there will be fines levied. That's pure. As far as current fines for what's happened, I will be handling that. I don't think I need to make that and all that public.
No, I agree.
I wouldn't disclose anybody's bank information or what they're paying for any of that. But those actions have gone punished. Don't worry. And if it happens again, the fines will be steeper. It's a very serious offense and something that I do take seriously, and probably out of everything that's happened, the thing that I feel the most sorry for.
All right.
We can't really say it was all your fault. Like you said, Dad was away, so all the kids were playing and doing anything that they wanted. To a certain degree, there's got to be their own sense of self-control, and they're just going to kind of learn that they needed to control themselves a little bit better and don't piss off Danger freaking Dean. Don't do it.
I'm still ruling with the same hand that I did before. It's just not, in person. So whether or not the punishment is immediate or not, and this goes for anybody who is involved in any of this shenanigans that's happened, whether or not it has happened yet, it is coming. And if it continues, it's going to get worse for you. I promise you, it's not going to be good.
Was there ever any thought about appointing an interim president while you were training? Was there ever any talks or discussions about that?
I did consider putting somebody in that role. However, going through what I have been going through, I didn't really want to put that responsibility onto someone else.
That's fair.
I didn't know who was out of who was available, who would have been able to handle it. So I figured at the end of the day, I would just take it on the chin. If everything, falls off the rails as it's starting to, it appears. But yeah, as I said, nothing's going unpunished. There are consequences coming to those that have caused any kind of unnecessary chaos. And especially violence against non-competitors or competitors. That's just absolutely unacceptable. Zero tolerance.
Any comments from the dudes or anybody else in chat before we continue?
I have one question.
Right.
We've been watching the Rewind quite a bit lately, and we've been seeing Danger Dean as the NRW champion. We just watched you having matches and coming out with Hunter and stuff. And that was a very different Danger back in the day, wasn't it? Back when you were running around with Hunter, that was a very different Danger Dean. However, my question about it is that Danger Dean is very, very similar to the current Curtis Cole. So is this kind of a situation of you already knew the tricks, you already knew you can kind of see what's coming? Or is there a little bit of that Dean that's still in there that you might have to go to the bottom of that bucket and maybe pull a little bit of that out just to give that guy a taste of his own medicine,
The similarities are glaring. And I think there is a similarity between a lot of the champions that you've seen. Dustin Urich, it happened with me. Definitely happened with David Drake. Holy cow.
What a metamorphosis that
was.
Hoodlum. Yeah. It's almost like the Golem. It's almost like Golem with Lord of the Rings. As soon as you get a little taste of that gold, it really is hard to have a little sense to you, and you do tend to kind of lose it a little bit and try to do what you have to do to make sure you don't lose that spot on the top of the mountain, which that's the goal. That's where you want to be. I haven't had I haven't been in a situation yet where there's an actual competition. It's just been training. But I am that type of guy. If you turn on the switch, we are digging deep. I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve. I know Curtis Cole isn't coming down there alone. Whether it be another human being with a heart and a brain and eyeballs and a nose, or if it's those brass knuckles, I know that Curtis is coming with some help. So that is something that I've been planning for. So. If he wants to get dirty, I can get dirty too.
Anybody with a brain wouldn't hang out with Curtis Cole.
No.
Fact. I bet you he's that guy at the bar.
Curtis
it's time
Cole
to pay
now.
the tab. He just has to go to the bathroom all of a sudden real quick. And
he
then
always
he's in an
was.
Uber already.
And he comes out the bathroom window in the men's room and gets his Uber.
Yep. On the company's card too, nonetheless.
Yeah.
All right. So stepping away from all that, we need to get Dean's opinion on some of the stuff that has been going on in our RMP, because I'm very curious to see his opinion on at least a couple of these matchups that have already been confirmed, besides your match. I want your opinion on the ongoing situation between Damon Ace and Sin Bodhi. And I know you've been watching over RMP through a camera lens and all that stuff, and you've been while training, keeping an eye on everything back there. What is your opinion on this situation? Because this situation runs very similar to what Damon Ace literally just went through with Mercury Yaden for a year, if not worse.
Now, this is a situation that even if I was present 100% of the time right now, if I didn't have this match to get ready for, if I was able to do all of my presidential duties, I don't know if I would be able to handle this situation. They're the two, I would say, most imposing individuals in the Rocky Mountain Pro locker room have completely imploded onto one another, and I don't know what I would be able to do different had I actually been around for all of this stuff to to be happening. But I think that these two guys, it's long overdue. That there's a match that they need to settle their differences, and that's putting it lightly. I don't know. This is Damon somehow finds his way in these scenarios where it's beyond winning or losing a match or winning or losing a title. It becomes so aggressively personal that it's hard to see where it's going to go after said match is said and done. When this is over, who wins and loses, does it matter? Does Damon stop? And I mean, this is something I will say for me personally, this is one of the matches that I'm more invested in because there are so many question marks surrounding both competitors.
All right, and then moving on from that, the shock that took probably the RMP world by storm, the ongoing situation between Echo and what appears to be Balaam with Brew in the background here. Why that happened, we still don't 100% know. We have our theories. But looking back at everything that's been going on, I mean, Team Joe, Echo was not this kind of person. And
no.
Now all of a sudden we are seeing a complete 180 of Echo boosting before our eyes here, and Brew's following that same path as well. How are you feeling about this?
I'm heartbroken. I don't know who the guy is that I'm watching. Echo's like he hasn't returned calls of mine in months.
Neither of mine as well, so don't feel bad.
Maybe I should have saw the writing on the wall. It's not something I get. And then on top of that, Brew. I mean, you want to talk about Team Joe? Yeah. Brew was always there too, and we would have guest streams, and Brew was always in there too. And he's Brew, he was one of the more jovial, happier, funnier, low key, funnier guys that would come through. And
yes, he was.
I have no idea who these two guys are. Echo had a key to my apartment, and he would come and go as I pleased because I trusted him. And now it's just become completely heartbreaking. And I know I'm not the only one feeling it. I know Balaam's feeling it as well. Balaam, put his entire trust in Echo as far as, the tag team division. I watched these guys, claw, the work they put in trying to get their match against JK Pop to win those titles. I mean, I don't get it.
Hell. They went through hell together.
Yeah, and then just seemingly to throw it all away. I wish I could get inside the head of Echo and ask him what the hell he's thinking, because I mean, you had it, you were there, that was the pinnacle, and you threw it away. So what's the goal? I mean, we'll find out at Shocktober if there's more at stake, more planned.
Lucas, you have any? We haven't really had a chance to really talk to you about this whole situation with Brew. I know you and Brew were very close backstage. Yeah. What have you been feeling throughout this whole entire situation?
Kind of similar to what you guys are feeling with Echo. I was never super close with Echo, but me and Brew, I kind of considered him like a little brother to me, even though, he's a much bigger guy, but, I'm older, and I kind of, when we did commentary together, we grew really close. I also appreciated his sense of humor. It was, he always put a smile on my face. And the fact that now he's the guy, pushing cameramen and doing those kind of despicable things, that's not somebody I was used to. I was used to a very, kind-hearted guy. When he announced his medical condition with that cyst in the back of his head, I was there for him. And I know a lot of you guys, reached out to him as well and showed him your support. And to me now, I feel like we've all just kind of been slapped in the face the way he's acting now. It's just, it's one thing if you want to get your career, jump started and try to, take a little bit different direction. But when you totally become a different person, that to me, that's taking it too far. That's taking your personal life and dumping all your morals and all your values and selling your soul out just for what? I thought Brew was on. I thought Brew had his career on the right track. It seemed like it was already on an upswing. So I don't feel this was necessary. So just very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Yeah, I don't. Titles weren't. I don't think titles were the goal. It's just a very odd situation and sad. It sucks. It really does.
All right, and we also want to get your opinion on the Lockettes division right now because we still don't have a confirmed match for that Lockettes title. Although there have been some moves in terms of who might get the number one contendership, and I think we had a good indicator on that last Thursday on Ignition. What's your thoughts on this Lockettes division? There seems to be a lot of moving around in terms of ranking and who should be the number one contender going into Shocktober and beyond.
I think anybody can agree that since I took over as president, the most competitive division in Rocky Mountain Pro is the Lockettes division. I think.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure why that is. Maybe because there's just less, there's less competitors in the Lockettes division as far as, as compared to the men that, there's, a few different divisions. So I'm not sure if, and all of these women have something to prove and they're doing an amazing job. And that's always been, again, the highlight of my presidency is just kind of watching everything unfold. There will be a match. I will say that now. We will have a match at Shocktober for the Lockettes title. Nobody worry. Who it's going to be, I'm going to keep my cards close to my chest here just for a few more days. But I'm not shocked by what's happening. I'm not shocked by the turnover. I'm not shocked by the level of competition. I think everybody has stepped it up, and I think they've all of these Lockettes have really made this, made their mark in the division itself. So whoever it will be, and you'll see, it will be well deserved, and I think you'll all be in for a treat.
And a couple more things leading up to Shocktober here. This whole situation between CBD and Remy D, that has had some extracurricular activities beyond the wrestling ring quite a bit over the past month or so. How do you see yourself handling this situation?
Again, this is one of those situations where dad's not home, so we can kind of do whatever we want. We can, interrupt matches and cause chaos whenever we see fit. And again, it's been dealt with, and if it continues, it will be dealt with further. I get where Remy's coming from. Remy has had a very frustrating journey, and this goes all the way back to his injury that took him out initially. There have been a lot of hurdles in Remy's path, and Remy is one of the the more beautiful souls that we've ever had grace Rocky Mountain Pro. But even those more beautiful souls get to a point where that limit has just been too much. They've taken it to, they've taken as much as they can, and it doesn't seem like there are any other options. And I think that's where Remy is. I have personally been there in the wrestling ring, outside of the wrestling ring, in our personal lives. I think it's something that we can all I think we can all agree, or not agree, but I think we can all relate. Thank you. I think we can all relate with that level of frustration. So I think this is going to be one of the more violent matches, even though both competitors are capable of a nice technically sound match. I don't think this one's going to be technically sound at all.
No, I think this is going to be a good old-fashioned beat-em-up with the level of emotion that these two have brought in each other to. Nah, this is going to be more of a fight than anything. I got a funny feeling. We've seen Remy stand toe-to-toe and throw hands with anybody. So CBD better be ready, but CBD's no joke either. So Remy better be. If both of these guys come ready 110%, it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Yep.
Remy's gonna beat so much peroxide out of CBD's hair, it's gonna look like an '80s hair salon.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the Rocky Mountain Pro faithful would be satisfied with if that were the result. So,
amen to that.
And I'm sure there'll be a tag team championship match, but is there even a team that has caught your eye to possibly become a number one contender for those championships at Shocktober?
that that I would say that would be the youngest of in sense of tag teams and the longevity that some of these teams have had together. I think we've got a lot of new teams that have come through, as well as some that are and again, the tag team division, we've seen La Isla, they went Splitsville, JK Pop Splitsville. We're taking out some of the biggest tag teams that we have.
And you guys took out the OGs too during Peak of the Pack as well. So
OGs were forced to disband. So I think it's anybody's game at this point. I think it's the most wide open. It takes the right set of competitors to come in and kick the door in and keep your eye on it, because it's the most up and coming. I think it will be the most shocking, just because we don't know who's going to work as a team. We don't know who's going to fail as a team. And one thing Rocky Mountain Pro has shown in its history is that sometimes the more unexpected pairings become some of the better teams. And I refer back to myself in Duff Doyle as D4. Nobody expected us to be, anything successful as far as teams, completely different guys, two different wrestlers, but we did have a level of competition, albeit before the championships were a thing. I think that, I think shocking at Shocktober would be the bigger,
I like it.
speaking of that, there is a question in chat. I'm going to get to that question in just a moment, because I just want to say one more topic. Not so much Shocktober, but further on down the line for Supercharge. And I'm just going to get Dino's opinion real quick. We know that Briscoe Crown is dealing with a devastating injury right now. And is it's like maybe 50-50 right now on whether he'll come back. Do you think Briscoe Crown will be ready to go for Supercharge when he has to defend that Charge Championship? He doesn't have to defend it at Shocktober, obviously, but
yeah, no, he's one of those guys. He wants to be back now. If it were up to him and he didn't have to listen to the doctors, he would be in the ring now. We would have a match at Shocktober, but that's just not how it is. I can't disclose too much on his medical condition. But if I were a betting man, I would say that by Supercharged, I think Briscoe Crown may be just about ready to go, as close to it as possible.
That's good news. Even
like
speculatory,
hearing
that's
it.
still good news.
If I were a betting man, and just because I know Briscoe and I've had a lot of conversations with him, so I think, yeah.
And he's young. He heals quickly.
That's right.
When we were young, we didn't care about the injury. We were going to fight through it, and then the injuries got worse and worse. And
now you mow your lawn, and it's a whole day recovery.
My back hurts.
That's right. He's still young. He's still bouncy. It's fine.
Yeah, right. The kids don't understand that those elastics, that goes away.
You're very buoyant and appreciate your buoyancy, youngins.
It's true. It's very true.
all right. Hold on, I'm checking Twitch real quick. I have Sarah's question that's coming up next. I'm just checking Twitch because the Twitch isn't catching up on here. Okay, there was no question there. All right. Sarah has a question over in YouTube. Do we have any special guests coming to Shocktober?
I'm going to be there.
I mean, he's not wrong. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen,
that is true.
There it is.
And I'm pretty sure you are too, Sarah. I think you're going to be there as well. So I don't want to give away too much. I don't want to, if we have any surprises, I don't want to blow them. We gotta save some surprises for the show. But yeah, if you want to see, make sure you tune in and make sure you subscribe if you're not here in Colorado to the YouTube channel on the $9.99 level. and you can see if we have any special guests coming.
All right. That's all I have so far on my list for Danger Dean as it pertains to the upcoming event for Shocktober. Fellas or chat, do you have any other questions for El Presidente himself?
I'm good. I'm just happy Dean's here. I missed Dean.
No more questions. It's good to see him like game faced, ready to go, priorities in order. Like this is exactly what needs to happen to beat a knucklehead like Curtis Cole, because that guy, just like you said, Dino, he's got plan A, B, C, and D halfway through the alphabet of different ways and different things that he can go to. You've been there, you've done that, you know what's coming. It's good to see the look on your face. It seems like the adrenaline's pumping when you think about it. It was fun talking to you, watching you go, back when we were watching the rewind earlier this evening. It's good to see you in this mode to go up and take that guy and just remove him from the equation. And that's what we're all cheering for you to do, to just shut Curtis Cole up for once, finally. Please and thank you, sir. It'll be great.
Absolutely. He may have plans A, B, C, D, and E, but he's got the combined brain power of Bebop and Rocksteady. So I hope he just beat the snot out of Curtis Cole.
Yeah, baby.
I love it. I love it. I've got the encyclopedia, so he can bring, you know, the notes that he's taken. See, there you go. No, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. I'm game faced. I'm more ready. If we could go right now, I'm ready to go right now. Like,
hey, ring the bell. Ring the bell. Let's go.
Bring it on. Like we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out just who the better man is at Shocktober, and faithful as far as all of the other drama and everything else that's unfolded. Be patient. Bear with me. We're gonna get a little bit of composure back in the company. We just have to get over this one little hurdle.
Just your average Jen with comment of the night. He may have those plans, but he does not have plan double D. He wouldn't know what to do. He wouldn't know what to do.
Wouldn't.
All right. Well, you want to know what's surprising, as a matter of fact? The one guy who has been so vocal about Dean focusing on training more than being a president has not been in chat the entire night.
No, did you notice that?
It checks the Jet's not here.
I wonder who you could be talking about.
Captain
Jet.
Chonkla himself, Sir Flip-Floppian.
What did you say? What did you say?
Sir Flip-Floppian of the Chonkla regime has not shown up this evening to say his piece, or at least back up all of that foddy breath that's come out of his mouth of all the things that he's spewed on this show and in the chats. Sarah Edgel says, please kick Curtis Cole for me.
Don't worry.
That's happening.
That's
Kick
happening
him multiple times. I haven't.
Yeah, don't even worry about that. That won't be the only thing. He's going to get hit with a lot. I promise
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And other than that, if you guys don't have any questions, chat, if you don't have any questions, we're going to wrap up the show tonight. Because we got a lot out of Danger Dean. I think it was a very successful show. Adding the rewind on top of everything too. I'm sure it brought back a lot of memories from Danger Dean. And Dean, I mean, I'm just a DM away, man. If you're ever bored on a Sunday night, just hit me up and we'll get you in here, buddy.
I think that is something I can make happen. I'll let you know. You'll probably see me pop up a little more during the rewind. We'll see what I can swing here.
We would love it.
And
absolutely.
And I am going to open the curtain just a little bit, because I did reach out to Dean about this about a few weeks ago. Timing has not been very good for me, and it still ain't for the next couple weeks. But we are thinking about possibly getting some of the band back together.
Ooh, yes.
So keep your eyes out on that. Because
that is a hell of a tease right there. That is a hell of a tease.
Yes, it's. We were talking about it briefly, and right now I'm trying to come up with my day to nailed down, and I got to get with Dean to make sure he's all set, and a few of the other guys. I don't know about Echo at this point, but worst case scenario, we just get rid of the E and go with Jod.
We'll go with that.
We'll
That
go with
sounds
the
good.
Jod.
You're taking our jaws.
Jaw.
They took her jobs.
Took her Jods. Or Jods Wizamori. So but other than that, folks,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
all I
looking
got.
forward to
Final thoughts, dudes, before we sign off.
Excited for this week.
Yes, cannot wait. 1st October, the Coastal Crusader and I will be there. 1st October. We've been trying to keep it quiet, but it just exploded earlier before the show, and we have to make an announcement and say the Crusader and I will be there for October and for the whole weekend of RMP's events, so it'll be fun.
Yes.
See you fellas in person in just a
Come
couple
by,
of
say
short
hi
days.
too. Yeah.
That's right. Get some of that Rocky Mountain air in our lungs again. And
Is it cold? Is it snowing out there yet? Or should I just dress like Maine?
It's
not Maine yet.
It's still
not
80
Maine
degrees
yet.
here. Yeah, it's still hot.
Oh, okay.
It's
The thing is, it just finally got to 80 degrees here in New England. We didn't have a summer.
What are you talking about?
It just
It's
rained.
49 outside in my house.
I know it's wicked chilly. It's like perfect hoodie weather outside right now. But I mean, man, we didn't even have a summer, so maybe it'll stick around till later this week. But it'll be great to see you guys out there later this week.
Yeah,
This
well.
interview was awesome.
Yes, can't
October
wait.
is going to be so pissa. Get your subscription in. It's tier 2. Check it out.
All right. Other than that, folks, that's going to conclude tonight's show. Thank you so much for watching. As always,
no,
if
this
you
is
have...
Fourth Row.
Was that?
Sorry, Fourth Row just said there's going to be some pineapple pizza waiting for me at Snowpack on Sunday. No,
yummy.
Beautiful.
I think I'm good.
Beautiful. We got
I
a pineapple
satisfied-
hater, Dean. We got a pineapple hater.
Tolerator.
Oh, that's right,
Not
tolerator.
hater. You made me eat it, and I tolerated it, but I've paid my penance to King and Country.
I
don't
told you
have to
it
do
was better
ever
with
again.
real pineapples instead of canned pineapples.
It was better than the Domino's Frisbee thing that I ate that one night. I had to pay my penance.
Oh, yeah.
The one that we got when we were out there actually was far better, but penance paid, never doing it again. Don't have to.
All right. As always, folks, make sure you have your Tier 2 membership all lined up and ready to go before Thursday so you can see Shocktober live here on YouTube, $9.99. We will be hammering it down your throats on Tuesday during Recharge, so be prepared for more promotion on that. And of course, RMP, besides Shocktober, also has a very busy weekend coming up. They do have Beer Start on Friday, Ramiro's on Saturday, and Snowpack on Sunday. So it's going to be another busy weekend for RMP this weekend. So make
Please
sure.
don't rain. Please don't rain. Please don't rain.
I think it's supposed to rain, guys.
Please don't snow. Please don't snow.
I was gonna say, I think the weather is calling for rain by the back end of the week.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But I don't think too much.
Tuesday we changed to like 60 degree and rainy all week.
Yeah.
Ugh. Shit.
Hey, I miss my weekend, so
All right.
don't feel
That's
bad.
all right. We don't get into about Thursday morning anyways, so.
Pretty much.
But yeah, make sure you have your membership up and ready to go by Thursday. Other than that, folks, we're going to wrap it up for this evening. For myself, Johnny Deathdrop, Coast Crusader, Marky Pins, Lucas Bradwell, and Danger Dean. You had your finger up. Did you want to say one more thing?
No, I'm good.
No, Danger.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Oh, okay,
I was
okay.
just playing with my hands.
I don't know.
I always have a pen in my hand the whole show, like I'm doing something. I have to fidget. I had a wicked fidget. Yeah.
All right. So for everybody here, we thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on Tuesday for another episode of Dues and Bell to Recharge and Rocky Mountain Pro Charge starting at 6 p.m. Mountain Now time. As always, folks.
Love it.
I have to. I've been getting shit.
Mountain out. No more standard. No more daylight.
No more standard.
Shit.
No more
Mountain
daylight. It's mountain now time. That's it.
MNT. That's it. Right.
All right.
Oh my
Boston,
As always, folks, stay safe, stay classy, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, folks.
Don't miss a moment of Rocky Mountain Pro action with options that suit your tastes and needs. Check out new episodes of Charged and Ignition. Interact with your favorite stars and personalities, all for free. Subscribe on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, or follow us on Rumble. Upgrade to the pay-per-view membership on YouTube and don't miss out on any past and present special events and episodes of Charged with more content added all the time. Check us out on any of these platforms and search RMP Wrestling to get more pro wrestling elevated.
Gregory Rise locked into this time and he catches all of it. World's prettiest elbow you saw here on Charge. And the ring couldn't even take the impact. No.